The Latin word of the day is example. So that gives us exemplum, an example out of many, chosen on account of its relative aptness for a certain end. Exemplum. Exemplar means an example before others, chosen on account of its absolute aptness to represent the idea of an entire species or class. It's a model. That's an exemplar. Auctoritas, an example from the conduct of an eminent person. Auctoritas. Documentum, an instructive or warning example. Documentum. To take anybody for one's example. Exemplum sibi petere ab aliquo. Exemplum sibi petere ab aliquo. Or just exemplum petere ab aliquo. Exemplum capere de aliquo. Or exemplum sibi capere de aliquo. Exemplum sumere ex aliquo. Exemplum sibi sumere ex aliquo. All meaning to take an example to use for yourself. To set an example. Exemplum praebere. Exemplum praebere. To set a bad example. Periculosam exempli imitationem prodere. And that's aliis or reliquis. So, periculosam exempli imitationem aliis prodere, or periculosam exempli imitationem reliquis prodere, mali esse exempli, pessimi esse exempli. To follow anybody's example, sequi aliquius exemplum, sequi aliquius exemplum, or sequi aliquius auctoritatem, sequi aliquius auctoritatem. Uti aliquo auctore, uti aliquo auctore. To follow someone's example in anything, aliquem ducem sequi in re. Aliquem ducem sequi in re. To confirm anything by an example, exemplo confirmare aliquid. Exemplo confirmare aliquid. To propose an example for imitation, proponere aliquae exemplum ad imitandum. Proponere aliquae exemplum ad imitandum. To fashion oneself after anybody's example. Se formare ad mores aliquius. Say that again. Se formare ad mores aliquius. To turn anybody's example against himself. Sum ipsius exemplum in eum vertere. Sum ipsius exemplum in eum vertere. Notice that in conversational Latin, ipsius is long, and in poetry it's usually short. As, for example, ut, or velut, not referring to a verb, but introducing single names or words, etc. E.g., a dislike of woman, as for example that of Timon, of Hippolytus, ut Timonus, ut Hippolyti. For example, exempli causa, or exempli gratia, which gives us our English e.g.eg. Exempli causa, exempli gratia. Ut exemplo utar, when for example means for the purpose of giving an example. Ut exemplo utar. Aliquos exempli causa nominare. Aliquos exempli causa nominare. Nomen aliquod exempli causa invenire. nomen aliquod exempli causa invenire, or nomen aliquod exempli causa afferre. That's for the purpose of giving an example of fact or statement. Verbi causa, verbi gratia, to explain a preceding expression. Verbi causa, verbi gratia. Well, to go no further, but to take the first example that occurs. As for example, when we laugh. Ut cum ridemus, sometimes, for example, is translated by in his, when a special instance or some special instances of a general assertion are produced. A penal example, as in prison or law cases, exemplum or supplicii. To make an example, exemplum severitatis statuere. Exemplum severitatis statuere. To make an example of anybody, exemplum in aliquo statuere. Exemplum in aliquo statuere. Exemplum in aliquem edere. Exemplum in aliquem edere. Or exemplum in aliquem constituere. Exemplum in aliquem constituere. To make an example for the purpose of terrifying the others, exemplo supplici ceteros deterrere. Exemplo supplici ceteros deterrere. And that's the entry on example in my copy of Riddle's English to Latin lexicon. This book, which is very useful, you can find on Google Books. That's books.google.com. Or, if you are lucky, you can go onto usedbooksearch.co.uk and have a look for it, and you might find a copy floating around somewhere in a bookshop. Right. Bye.